Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. This is a channeled mini. I'm going to focus a little bit on $175 million that Trump was able to rustle up um, to cover that reduced bond of the $454 million judgment. Okay, so I don't think it was ever actually in question that he would be able to scratch up that money from somewhere, because it was just, half, right? Less than half of what he originally needed to come up with. So, where does this put him? How does this work? On the one hand, he got the 175, and I think on the same day, his True Social stock lost $1 billion. Now, $1 billion for him, the amount of stock that he actually owes or owns. So now apparently they're saying, well, he can't really borrow against that money. He has to get approval from the board, except, the board is filled up with sycophants. So, I don't know how that exactly is going to be enforced. But so what we have energetically with him right now is a bit of a seesaw. Okay. He gets revenue from one place, he loses it from another. The Bible is my favorite book. Did not go over very well. That seemed to have, caused more friction or disgust than maybe it was worth. I don't know how the gold-plated sneakers are doing. Apparently they haven't shipped yet. But what you have with him is this sort of perpetual juggling act, all right? So the thing to remember is that when it comes to him, his entire sense of self is wrapped up in how much he believes he's worth, how much other people believe he's worth. Like, it was a real hit when his lawyers had to go into court and say, listen, there's not a way in hell he's going to get a, $500 million loan here to cover that bond. But so what you're dealing with is this up and down, back and forth with him. And in some ways, that's actually really unsettling for him, and in some ways almost dangerous, because he can't, again, this is channeled, this is what I'm being told, he can't grab on to one feeling. All right. He starts to feel like he's all that. And then before you know it, he's getting, his knees cut out from underneath him because something's going wrong. So you're going to continue to see this sort of back and forth thing with the money. It has only just started. It's not like this is the culmination. It is only the beginning. Let's not forget, he has a trial starting on April 15th. Now, it's being known as the hush money case, but the reality is it's something like 31 counts of criminal, illegal, election financing laws. All right. So this isn't like a minor thing. Now, do we all wish that he would get just slammed into jail and stay there to rot? Well, most of us, yeah. But he's not likely to, and we've kind of dealt with this before. As frustrating as it is, we need to kind of condition ourselves to recognize that it's going to have to be a really, really serious thing for him to get tossed into jail. I'm being told the only one that's going to come close is if he actually gets nailed on espionage or something like that with that documents case. That's not going to happen until after the election. Now, listen up. That trial is most likely going to go through after the election. If he is still around, which is kind of dicey, he's not going to win it. In part because he will have lost whatever status, I guess maybe, that he had. And by that point, Cannon will have either left the bench or been removed from the bench. Something's going to happen there. So in that, he would have been smarter to push that trial ahead, because at least then he could have sort of guaranteed himself a little bit more preferential treatment. But by delaying it, he is now a, two-time sort of failed candidate. He was the president like 8 years ago. He doesn't have kind of that same panache or clout. So when that thing rolls around, and it will, he's not going to win it anyways. That could be the one that actually lands him in Huskow. But this one coming up, there's going to be guilt assigned, all right? So there's going to be guilty verdicts. But I can't help but feel, and I'm being told, that like literally I see the words ka-ching in front of my face, okay? So that's telling me that, sorry, I just need to plug this in before my battery dies because I'm not paying a lot of attention. There we go. Where was I? Right. So it feels again like he's going to get hit with some sort of a financial, slap in the face. And how many of those can he actually afford? Now, maybe somewhere down the road, he'll be able to collect on some of those shares that he holds. But that stock, I'm being told, is going to do a little bit of this. It's going to go up and down and up and down. Ultimately, it will settle at a kind of, it's going to settle where it should have started, is sort of where we're at. People are buying that stock almost like as a novelty item. And, maybe with the hopes of making some quick money at the beginning when the prices are still really fluctuating. But by and large, it's not going to make the money that sort of investors think, and it's not going to actually hold its value the way Trump is hoping and praying. And I suspect that the only time he comes close to anything close to a prayer is when it comes to one, money, or two, staying out of jail. So that's what you have going on here with him. Now, what does that do to him? What does it do when his ego really feels imbalanced or like it's not stable? Well, what happens? He becomes even sort of more kind of erratic, right? And, as I think I mentioned in yesterday's video, like something like 77 posts over the Easter weekend. So this is what you call, devolving, right? I mean, he is not holding on to reality really, really well. So you're going to see more of that, right? You're going to see more of him lashing out. You're going to see more of these rambling, nonsensy speech things that he's doing at rallies where he really is starting to sound, I don't want to use the word unhinged because it feels more like he sounds disconnected. Like whatever thoughts are rolling around in his brain are somehow not translating out of his mouth. And so you get half words and half sentences and everything is really disjointed. And even when you can string all the words together and kind of hopefully they make sense, they don't make any sense. So that there's going to be more of that. Now, I will delve into this in tomorrow's mini, but Marshawn has slapped additional gag order, and so he is going to be like pushing back against that. And we know this is what he does, right? He tries to push the envelope and see how far he can push it. Well, he's met somebody who's not going to let him push it. And so as he starts getting slapped with sanctions, even before the court case starts, you're going to again see these kinds of an increase in these sort of really erratic behaviors. You're going to see real flares of temper and anger. And honestly, this isn't something that a lot of us have witnessed in the public, right? I mean, we've heard about it, right? We've heard about the ketchup hitting the wall and him being and ranting and screaming, but they've been careful to ensure, he's been careful, I guess, to ensure that this stuff sort of stays behind the scenes, behind walls. But it's feeling more and more like as the days and weeks go on, particularly as the month of April unfolds, it's going to be a very, very hard month for him. As this month unfolds, you are going to see those bursts or those flares of anger and rage. And that's also going to not sit well. You know, there is still that segment of people out there who, for whatever reason, still feel like Trump is a more viable candidate than Biden. And I'm not talking about the MAGAs. I'm talking about these other people that have sort of not really been paying close attention, that, you know, they voted for him last time, they'll probably vote for him this time. Or, you know, even if they think he's a bit of a goof, he's a Republican, and so are they. Whatever their reasons and motivations are. But when there start being like public displays of rage and violence and anger, displayed by him, you're going to see again another sort of shifting of people's sort of perceptions of him. And that's not, again, going to work in his favor. So what you're going to witness over certainly the next 4 months, 4 weeks, possibly 4 days, is this ratcheting up of rage, of anger, of not making any sense when he talks, of repeating half sentences over and over and over again, almost as if he just forgot he said it. Like he just forgot he said it. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like he just forgot he said it. Like that. And so that's going to kind of, again, these things are going to impact him almost on a visceral level, on an ego level. And you're going to see, unfortunately or fortunately, the result of that is that the behavior spikes. He's no longer able to get it under control. And frankly, more and more, the people around him are no longer able to spin it. I guess Atlas has something to say about that. All right. So I'm wrapping up. So we're just going to I think Atlas is probably barking at a truck. He's taken this real aversion to trucks lately. And every time one goes by, he feels obligated to let us all know. All right. That's what I know about Trump. It's not going to be good. Buckle up. It's going to get a little bumpy with him. But remember that his crazy does not, should not, cannot lead you to a place of worry, fear, or anxiety. All right? It needs to lead you to a place of even more confidence that light is going to prevail, as will Biden. All right? Keep that your focus. Questions, please, in the comment section for Pendulum Friday. You guys send in amazing questions, and the amazing Joyce makes it so easy for me to just get that done for you. So thank you very, very much for being here. To my new subscribers, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye.